Alright everyone, welcome back. I just finished with my spray painting, and I have to admit this gun is pretty awesome. If you just, right after you finish painting, if you just clean it up, put it in water, I already threw out the dirty water here, but man, it took barely two of these. I filled it up halfway, but barely two of these, which this is, I guess, total of 4 ounces, so 2 ounces. I used a total of 4 ounces of paint. Of course, thinned it out with water here. This is what I used. This is what was used. Man, the thing's old. Anyways, that's what I used, and that's what was on there. And I have to. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Just really push that in there. Anyways, I'll deal with that later. Just to make sure it didn't want to dry. It was really thick, but just rinsed it right after it's done. You can see the. Come on, focus. There we go. And if you see the gun, I mean, it's, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's pretty much clean. This is the cavity of it, and that's all that's in there. You can still see the grease on here, but yeah, the tip, oh, excuse me, the tip did dry up a little, but I just took my finger and just wiped out that dry paint, and it started spraying again. So looks good. Like I said, this part does control the fan, whether it's round or spread out into like a triangle as you saw before. So I was right about this. I thought it was the control of fluids, but anyways, field tested. So let's look at some of the results here. And excuse me for any poor lighting here. I got a ladder. So let's take a look at it. Of course, this is kind of the Bondo work I did. Okay, so there it is. You could see some of it blended really well, and I did use this just to make sure I didn't get any overspray, and I was a little liberal just because I wanted to make sure it got covered. But after I did that, all the sequential coatings, I didn't even bother. I just kind of took it up really close and was able to shoot right in there underneath, so I can get to the, you can't really see it, get to the bottom of those. And man, it did a great job. Very little overspray on this. Also up here, if you all can see that, very little overspray. Very little overspray on that. I mean, it's still a little wet, and yeah, it doesn't quite match with some of the old, but I have to admit, it's better than spray painting, or I'm sorry, brush painting. Let me see where else. The tip up there. Oh, you guys can't see it. That's too bad. Let me get up on the ladder. Maybe hopefully I'm not going to drop my camera. But here, spray painted here. A little hard to use the board in two hands when you're on the ladder, so basically I just took the spray gun and just got really close and made sure I didn't overspray. And you see there's not too much overspray anywhere, so that's what that looks like. And up here as well. Sorry, the sun's about to come out. Let me see if I get a little higher without killing myself here, just to show you guys. There we go. So that's kind of what that looks like there, and you can see the paint on it matches pretty good with the rest of it. And it's probably dry enough for me to take the paint off. Um, that's how fast it dries. And man, I barely used just 4 ounces. If I would have used a paintbrush, especially with that old paint, it was very thick. Oh yeah, this is a little area I touched up. I didn't Bondo it, I just put the caulking in any cracks, any separation, and you can, worked out really well. You can't even tell you kind of can, but you see the little gloss, but still, it's pretty good here as well. And so, wow, I'm impressed with this little gun. It's really quick to clean. I don't have to do much, just rinse it in the water if you're using latex. If you're using anything else, thinner or lacquer thinner or whatever else you have to clean it out. But man, this little gun, if you're doing any touch-ups or anything like I did, where you're trying to, of course it's a lot of work to set things up and everything, but man, when you're doing it and the final results, it looks clean, and I barely used any paint. I'll probably use this for other things I'm gonna do, not for spraying houses or anything, but I'll probably, small little things, maybe prime it and then use a little brush to paint little figures or whatever I want. I got a little mini air grinder. I got a lot of small pieces of scrap wood. After I do my little grinding away and shaping and making little figures, I want to paint it. I shoot it with a primer, shoot it with this, and then start painting my figures. So something I would want to do, I'll show you. But I give this a very excellent rating. If this goes great with the larger gun, which is I'll show you. I have. Like I said, it's just a little brother or a little sister of this gun. You all seen this gun, I'm sure. And so, if you know what this is, you'll see the comparison in size. And obviously, very, very smaller. Canister, smaller. But they got the same thing for like, I think retails like 45 bucks or something. You can get these for half the price. You can get both of these for half the price. You may have to really work at cleaning this, but this one I didn't even clean. I just sprayed some water in it and shot it through, and it worked. So they got the other one. I do think it's 40 or 45 bucks, but man, you can get the same, kind of deal. The detail and then the regular for half the price. No kidding. And they match. I don't know why they don't just sell them as a set. They probably should, but anyway, who knows? I mean, it's Central Pneumatic, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, it's the mini spray gun was way easy to operate, and it's just so much lighter. And it very little overspray to it. Took it down to 40 psi. Usually I do this at 50 to 60. I'll take this to 40, and man, it did wonderful. Like I said, I barely put in half the amount in here, but 2 of these, so I used 4 ounces. I used 4 ounces. That's all it was. And you can see it's very. I like the metal cup. I wish they had the metal cup for this. I just washed it out, and that's all it was. I didn't have to scrape it or anything. The paint didn't. There's a little bit of residue paint in here, but I'll wipe it out. But man, it performed very well to my expectations. Exactly what I wanted. This is an excellent buy, excellent rating. Ironically, I got it a a very good price. Basically, I paid. You can get this and this for the same price. So, yeah, go get it if you're thinking about it. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. This is the field test for the adjustable mini spray gun. I give it 2 thumbs up. Excellent rating. If y'all want to get one, you know where to get it. If you're thinking about getting it, go get it. If you're thinking about spray painting, consider this along with this. This is a great touch-up. It really hits the small places right where you need them. Very little overspray on this compared to trying to touch up with this. And then small little cupping, and it's so cute. Maybe my daughter would like to use this. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is that should be it for the review on the adjustable mini detail spray gun here. You see, I still gotta do some cleanup work here and head on home. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Bye now. Man, it just it took barely 2 of these. I filled it up halfway, but barely 2 of these, which this is, I guess, total of 4 ounces, so 2 ounces. I used a total of 4 ounces of paint. Of course, thinned it out with water here. So push that in there. Anyways, I'll deal with that later. Just to make sure it didn't want to dry. It was really thick, but just rinsed it right after it's done. You can see the, come on, focus. There we go. And if you see the gun, I mean, it's, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's pretty much clean. This is the cavity of it, and that's all that's in there. You can still see the grease on here, but this is what I used. This is what was used. Man, the thing's old. Anyways, that's what I used, and that's what was on there. And I have to. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Just really. Alright everyone, welcome back. I just finished with my spray painting, and I have to admit this gun is pretty awesome. If you just, right after you finish painting, if you just clean it up, put it in water, just, I already threw out the dirty water here.